Hey, Jeff Reber here with Pursuit Real Estate, joined by a neighbor and friend, actually, but BJ Johnson with Inside and Out Property Inspectors, that, hence the name, Property Inspectors. They do home inspections, but also WDO, they do mold, like air quality stuff. And also, BJ owns a pest control company that does termite treatment, termite warranties. And it has come up a couple of times recently in my world where the termite bond or termite warranty and termite treatment agreements and plans have been sort of misunderstood. And I thought I'd have a quick conversation with BJ to kind of clear things up in that world for me and for the audience in the world of termites in Florida. So BJ, what did I miss on what all you do? You probably have other facets of your company and companies that I didn't hit on there. So yeah, so what's going on in your world?
Just out here doing inspections, killing bugs, as my pest control guy says. Every time I call him, I'm like, what are you doing? Killing bugs,
Yep. And there are a lot of bugs. I once had a customer that, coming from out of town, moving to Florida, said, I want a neighborhood or an area of town where there aren't really snakes or bugs. And I said, you chose the wrong state. It's Florida.
Yeah.
There's snakes and bugs everywhere.
We're a tropical climate, so we got all of the above.
Good. Okay, so give me a quick difference and rundown on, and we even talked about this before the video, that I call it a termite bond. That's not what pest control companies typically call it. So termite bond or warranty, and then termite treatment agreement. How are those different? I guess just definitions and work to be accomplished between those two, and then we'll talk about like cost difference and that sort of thing after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time when you hear people talk about it, they're talking about, hey, I want a bond. We like you said earlier, we tend to call it a warranty. And there's two types of warranties or two types of bonds, which they're really the same thing. It just depends on who you're talking to. But you have a repair bond or a retreat only bond. And then what will happen is the repair bond is if we come out and do the treatment for your termites and we set up our system, that if there's any damage that occurred from when we did this, then we would repair that section that was caused by the termites.
Mm-hmm.
And generally this is only to subterranean termites, not drywoods, not anything like that. Powder post beetle, any of the other termites that we have here.
Carpenter ant.
Carpenter ants are not a termite, but they can eat and damage just as much as a termite can.
Yeah. And so I guess to chase that rabbit down the hole for a minute. So I essentially have in a repair warranty or repair bond, this insurance against damage that occurs, but it only targets subterranean termites. So I guess how would you, so let's say you created this bond, created the agreement, and then years later we find wood damage from a bug, but no bugs. Let's say the bugs are dead, they're gone. No evidence of what did it. How do you differentiate between, was that subterranean termite? Was it powder post beetle? Was it carpenter ant? How do you know?
Well, a lot of times, so the subterranean and the carpenter ants, they both like moisture. So they definitely need moisture to get in that area. But as far as the subterranean, how to identify those is that generally whenever you find that damaged area, they will have like mud tubes packed in it. Powder post beetle, we see that a lot on older homes and stuff, and it looks like little pinholes all over the material, the wood material. And what their frass is called, it looks very powdery.
Sure.
And then
hence the name.
Yep. And then the dry woods, you'll see exit holes that are familiar or similar to the powder post side. But then when you start breaking them off and kind of breaking it open, you'll see the drywood pellets, frass, and they're very distinctive on those. It's like we tell people, have you ever seen like that little coffee ground mound on your window or on your floor? It's piled up like an anthill, like you see outside. That's signs of, you have drywood termites. And if you vacuum it up and it keeps coming back, guess what? They're live and they're eating.
They're active.
So
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so some of those you can either spot treat if it's only to that area, but if it's really bad, then you got to tint the house.
Got it. and nobody wants to do that. But let's say I'm preemptively trying to make sure I don't have future issues with this, and I'm trying to make a decision on, do I want a repair warranty or just a treatment warranty? How do you advise people on deciding one over the other?
So as far as our company goes, if you want a repair warranty, we have what we call our premium service, our premium treatment.
Mhm.
And basically we use bait stations normally on our retreats only, and limited on the liquid treatment in conducive areas as we see best fit for that home. And then our premium is a full liquid perimeter treatment around it, along with bait stations.
Got it.
And then obviously after a thorough inspection of the home, we will decide whether we want to give a repair or a retreat warranty only.
Okay. And obviously you as a company are being selective in instances where you think this is not a good risk for our company to go into an agreement on a repair warranty, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, 12 months later, they're like, oh yeah, we have to replace 2 exterior walls in our house, and it's going to be $150,000. Like, you have to make an informed decision as the company as to whether or not that makes sense. No, good. And then general idea on cost difference between all other things being equal, the repair warranty versus the treatment warranty. What would be rough, let's say, I don't know, 2,000 square foot house built in the last 10 years, 15 years. What would be the cost difference roughly?
So basically, the retreat only, the bait stations, we start at $495.
Okay.
So that gets you a treatment in the ground where you're protected, no ifs, ands, or buts. And then our premium
annual $495.
$495 plus so we have a couple options. So a lot of people, that's the startup. That's to cover the install. And then either you could pay the bond or the warranty monthly at a $25 a month rate after that, immediately after that, or you could pay $300 in addition to the $495 initial. Okay.
Got it.
And then on the retreat or the repair, where we're doing the liquid and the baits, it ranges from anywhere from $6 to $9 a lineal foot. So we would measure that section out and then go from there. Any
thoughts or tips? Let's say I'm thinking about doing this as a homeowner, I hadn't quite decided yet. In the interim and in the near term, I want to make sure that I'm not attracting termites into my house. What would be some low-hanging fruit for something a homeowner could do to make sure they're not creating an environment where termites are just having a party right at the foot of your foundation and itching to come inside
and go in town?
Yeah.
Well, those are areas that would help us determine whether we want to give you a retreat or a repair. Conducive conditions. And what I mean by that, you have a lot of dirt or mulch up against your house to where if you see newer construction today, you have that space between the bottom of the wall covering to the ground, and you can see that.
Yep.
So that's a visual inspection for us that can see the mud tubes that come up through there. When that's taken away, we can't see that. And so the visual inspection is hindered, but it also allows the termites to go undetected, by not seeing them visually in the initial. So definitely, watch your mulch and, what you're doing around your home.
Keep stuff away from the foundation or
don't store wood products around your house, anything like that. Because termites, obviously they eat wood. Make sure your walls and like your pipings, all that stuff, the penetrations coming in from the outside of your house are sealed.
Right.
And because what that can do, water can leak in and then create a conducive condition where it's wet, and that attracts termites. And then basically, because that area in the wall that may be wet, that may be, 5 feet up or even up in the attic, they can tunnel up there, and then they don't have to keep coming back down the ground every day. They have a moisture source there that will sustain them and live. And then that's how they're getting up in the attics. And when you start seeing some of this damage up in the attics.
Interesting. Yeah.
So definitely conducive conditions.
Termites, they can still make their way all the way up to the attic, and if they've got a water source, they're still happy campers. So
even on block homes. So
yeah. Well, and I have had that conversation before with owners of concrete block homes. Like, my home's concrete block, I don't need to worry about termites. Like, yes, the exterior walls are, but
Yeah.
80% of your structure, your roof framing, all the interior walls, and even portions like, of you're usually framing out from the concrete block includes
the furring strips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and they need such a tiny crack to get in. So
I think I Googled Google something that said like 30 seconds of an inch will allow a termite to get through. I'm like, yeah, I probably, with my eyesight these days, would not even be able to see an opening that size. So we're just up a creek from that perspective. Okay, cool. Any other thoughts, tips, or just general info that we didn't hit yet on termite treatment versus termite repair? Any other thoughts on that?
No, that's just that, hey, we live in Florida, and what we're battling now is, the Formosan termites. So they're like a subterranean, but the damage that they can do is multiplied by so much in a short amount of time. And so you want to start protecting yourself to where you want to do what we call our premier, but you want to use a bait station along with the liquid. The liquid is more the liquid defense, the deterrent. If they find that, they kind of get sick and don't feel good, and they send signals back to their colony saying, hey, this is a bad area, go away. But the advantage with the bait stations, when they do find that, they eat it, and it's like, hey, this is good stuff. Everybody come back, and then they take it back to the colony, and it actually eliminates the colony. So it's more effective on the Formosans than the liquid treatment is. So it's nice to at least consider that, at least getting the bait. I think it's very beneficial.
Okay, cool. And then if somebody wants to reach out with questions or to get service started, what's the best way to get a hold of you guys for the pest control treatment warranty?
Oh yeah, they can call. Mike Masters is my pest control manager, or they can call Sam in the office, and that office number is 904-878-0089.
Good stuff. Well, BJ, I don't want to keep you on a Friday almost afternoon here. So anything else before we go you wanted to mention or thoughts for the crew watching?
No, I just, hey, if you got any questions, there's no silly question, just call on and ask us, and we're more than happy to help. And if you just want us to come out and do a visual inspection for you, we will do that, free of charge. And we'll come out and say, hey, you're good to go. And, we don't see anything, but we obviously love to have you as a client and be part of the family.
Sure. Well, I greatly appreciate the time. And if anybody has any questions of me, feel free to call 904-405-1995, or you can shoot me an email, jeff@pursuitrealestate.com. BJ, thanks again. Go have a good weekend, and we will catch up soon.
Thank you, sir. You too.